Sorry, I forgot my earphones. I didn't plan on doing a video today. But as I was sitting here with a horse and some dogs running around and extreme heat and insects, I was thinking about things like mental illness. And I wonder, seeing as how mental illnesses are usually defined as being chemical imbalances within the brain specifically that cause predispositions to mood swings and hallucinations and all kinds of things like that. So it's chemical imbalances, but also like faulty electrical signals and cells not behaving the way that they should in the brain and in the nervous system. So that's just a gross generalization. But what I've been wondering, do we not do ourselves a disservice when we say that mental illness is purely a physical illness? In that, are we not disempowering ourselves from being able to make the changes that we maybe could be making by changing how we think, how we respond to situations, by implementing specific tools that support us to deal with stressful situations, to deal with emotions, to deal with our relationship with ourselves in a healthier, more balanced, more effective way. And I'm a person who I see pretty much in everyone, including myself, aspects of mental illness as it is defined by the psychological community. We're all fucked in the heads. I mean, how many of us learned how to deal with our emotions? How many of us learned how to develop healthy coping strategies for stressful situations? How many of us learned how to develop healthy relationships with ourselves and with other people? It's not common. Most of us go through life reaching for some shred of light in the darkness. And back to my original point, people may argue that, okay, well, there is a physical imbalance, there are physical symptoms with mental illness. And yes, that's true. Some people are born with these chemical imbalances, and they are born with these brains that operate in a different way to the average person. However, that does not mean that we cannot reprogram ourselves, at least to a degree. Because if you look at those behaviors that we develop through our lives, they usually start when we're very young and they become ingrained, or the foundation gets laid when we're very, very young, the first 7 years. And that foundation consists of us programming specific neural pathways through having specific types of thoughts, specific responses to certain situations. For example, feeling anxiety when you feel like you're responsible for something, then it becomes like an automated response, because it actually becomes physically programmed into our brains and into our bodies. We are essentially organic robots. We are programmed. So could we not at least entertain the theory that mental illness, to some degree at the very least, can be programmed differently for those who have it, meaning that we can take responsibility for what we go through to support ourselves, to choose to practice different living habits. I personally know people who have diagnosed mental illness issues, and of course you can't just make it go away after a short period of time of living differently or thinking differently. This stuff, it's ingrained so deep into our physical body, sometimes into our DNA, that yes, some people need to take medication as a bridge to support them to remain stable while they're taking responsibility for finding different ways to deal with how they experience themselves and how they experience life, so that they could maybe, just maybe, live in a way that makes them more fulfilled, that makes their relationship with themselves more fulfilling, that makes their relationships with other people more fulfilling, and less conflict and less instability, and all of these things that, even if it was just a 1% improvement, it's not nothing. So that was my thought of the afternoon. Share your thoughts on how we could change how we see and how we deal with mental illness. Thanks for watching. You're going to see me next time.